take everything you got. Sacramento, they thought it was the year, but I'm telling you it's not. Flotty said that we don't have home court advantage, we won't win. What? Flotty, are you stupid? I'll tell you time again. You need to go when they know your name. It's the Lakers, we know how to play the game. You said that we would win at your place. Guess what? Kobe dunked it in your face. You need to go where people know your name. You see that star tack?
Making the game in the world today takes every ref you got. Cheating your championship, making bad calls sure would help a lot. Sacramento, we got the cowbells. And those Lakers can't go to... No. Anyway, welcome back to Players Only. That was Shaq doing his... Anyway, we don't want to talk about that.
What you see that phone? You see that phone?
Old school phone.
Old school phone.
What was your first phone? Was it a brick phone or a flip phone?
Oh, brick phone.
You had the brick phone?
Dope man.
You had the brick phone?
Yeah, I had the brick phone. The gray one with the extra fat battery.
You would have had to have that in 11th grade.
The court with the
89.
antenna?
Okay.
What was it?
Yeah, big antenna.
LSU has its benefits.
I was going to say 89.
Oh, 89.
89.
I had one, Chris had one, and Stan had one. And Vernell Singleton had one, too.
No, so who did you used to call on that, though?
Nobody.
But it was the best for front, wasn't it?
It was just there.
It had the suitcase with the cord, too?
Yeah, I had all that.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
And I had a Bronco, too.
Oh,
remember that song? B stands for Bronco, B, W,
You fit in the Bronco?
No, not at all.
I didn't think I was small.
But I look good, though.
Candace Young, she don't
know nothing about none of that.
She was
We
born
don't
in
even know what y'all
2013.
talking about. Y'all over there mumbling.
I had a...
We can't understand nothing y'all saying. Y'all over there mumbling.
And BD writing, what are you writing?
I was just
Poetry.
trying to kill time.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, this is Players Only. Welcome. I'm Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny to Jeff Smith, and Charles Barkley.
Hey,
Let's
now.
get right into it. We know the Davis trade dominated news
Wearing
today.
pajamas?
What was that? Hey, he's part of the Turtleneck Club. Yeah, AD, he got the memo today. Way to put that hot turtleneck on in Houston.
Dressing like you live in L.A., don't he, BD?
Yeah, he is.
BD.
Oh,
Harden.
Diptity doo-dah. Nobody's stopping this kid. I mean, one of the most prolific scorers, I think, in NBA history.
Got him.
BD, they say he would be boring to play with. Would you have liked to play with a guy that dominated the ball as much, even though you were the point guard?
No, I would like to play with Harden because, you know, especially in a system like D'Antoni, it's just like you just taking turns. And when you got somebody like that who can get money and create money for other people, it just makes sense. I think that's a big reason why Chris Paul has been effective is he don't have to shoulder the load a lot.
Yeah, you know, Shaq, Okafor was the overall number 3 pick by Philly in 2015. He averaged 18 and 7 as a rookie. You're going to see him in this game right now running the lane. Do you think guys like that can get their game back once they find a good spot?
I think they can get their game back, definitely get their confidence back. He's been, you know, floating around from team to team, but now that Anthony Davis is gone, I think he's averaging 21 points, getting the field. And look, you just got to play your game. You know, he's not really a jump shooter, so move the ball like that, pass it, you know, run the floor, get easy dunks. When you get your opportunity, get your number called in the post, make a strong move, barbecue chicken alert, play your game. And that can get you 21 points. That's what he's been doing.
That's exactly what he's been doing. How about that? The knockdown, New Orleans up. Look at that. You see a player go down. You don't like to see that. How about this? Okafor again.
Run, big dog, run.
How about that for the dunk? And how about a family of basketball royalty? That's the holiday. They all got
Holidays,
games.
UCLA, baby.
Yeah, and then again, Candace, you're a ball handler. You get down with the pick and roll. Shooting this far deep, can you just speak about how nice this man Harden is?
Just as a defender, having to pick up just inside half court and then not being able to really play with your hands as a defender because he uses his body so well and draws
Oh,
the
now
foul.
he want to coach.
Oh, now he coaching. Yeah, I'm part of his team now. I mean, I want to be traded, but what happened
Look at the
was...
coaches.
I got to do
next
this
week.
anyway.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be here next
Look at this replay, y'all. Now, whose fault is this?
dog,
Harden's, the refs, or
This
the
is the
game?
funniest play I ever seen in my life.
But he was expecting it. That means he got that call before.
I don't see it now.
Okay, no, I didn't see that. That was just our offensive push-off on that play. Coach D'Antoni fighting for
he
every
would've shot-
How's
call.
that not a foul?
He can get
32 shots, though.
Is that a lot?
You know, he's trying to get 40.
7, well, I mean, he has to do what he has to do, but...
You know, it's one of those things, it's like, is he going to get 40? Is he going to get 40?
Are you talking about his efficiency?
No, I'm just simply saying...
Oh, okay.
Well, he's a ball hawk.
That's a lot of shots.
See, you guys are putting words in my mouth.
You got that triple green light, don't he?
Yeah, oh, man.
Welcome back, CP3.
And welcome back, Ja Rule. Okay, that's the nickname we're going to give him. Check it out. The first 27 games, he only got 8+ minutes. Of course, with Anthony Davis out and maybe gone, his time is going to go up. But wow, he was shooting 52% from the field.
I shoot 75%. Wow.
That man's a good player. He won a national championship.
Yeah.
He's a skilled big man. He has a basketball IQ. I think sometimes guys like that get stuck in purgatory, where you're on a team like New Orleans, where you playing behind, you know, Anthony Davis. You know, you playing behind a Cousins the year before. You know, in Philly, they never gave you a shot because you're behind Embiid. So somebody like this kid, he can play. He just has to be in the right situation.
And that's all it's about, finding the right situation no matter who you are or how your game is. So it is good to see guys like that get a second chance and do their thing. How about well, I want to talk about Greg Anthony's coat again. That is funny. But we caught up with AD, and think about the AD trade. I mean, when you think about all that's been talked about, let's start with you, Candace. When you think about all that's been talked about, what do you think is your final stamp on this whole AD situation?
Well, I think it'll be something that they're going to have to deal with the rest of the season. I think the question is whether he doesn't play. I mean, he's sitting out for a finger fracture right now. And they said 1 to 2 weeks at the time. So as the Pelicans, do you sit him down for the rest of the season? I mean, that's my final thing. He wants to be traded. He's going to be out of here. If I'm the Pelicans, I wait. But do you sit him for the rest of the season, or?
Huh? Wait,
that's what I'm asking. No, I'm asking a question.
Well, me, if I'm Pelicans and the guy wants to be traded, we got a big.
You got to get rid of. You got to move.
Got to get moving, but we're gonna get some pieces for him. You know, I'm not just gonna let him walk away at the end of this year.
Man,
so.
But your best trade is Boston.
Yeah, but sitting a superstar down for the rest of the like, he's not gonna want to sit. He's not gonna even want to be around. If you don't trade this man, he's not gonna want to be around your team for the rest of the season.
But your best trade is Boston, and Boston can't trade for you until the summer.
Yeah, but I don't think he wants to go to Boston.
Why is that the best trade?
I think he wants to go to LA.
But for the Pelicans, you're looking out for yourself.
In the summer, can he be a free agent?
Get Kuzma, you can get Ingram.
And as a teammate, though, if you guys have been here in leadership roles, whether it was you that may have been leaving or whether it was other players that were around, do you guys think that your teammate should address it to you as a team, or do you think he went to his boys and they understand, like, Drew, you know I'm up out of here, man. I'll see you in La La Land. What do you guys think that his role should be?
You know the players know, right? Because this has been something that's been talked about even coming into the season. And so him being committed to the team and playing hard and then seeing where their record is, you can feel it, right? You can feel it with the media pressure, with the media attention. And then you know he got homeboys on the team where he like, yeah, I'm frustrated. Like, why am I even in? Like, he's stuck. He's stuck in a no man's land in a city where it's not really a basketball city, and with an organization that's not really trying to make the proper progression to make things around him better. They're not going to spend the money. So it's all a wild card. If I'm Anthony Davis, go to my teammates, yo, homie, this is what it is. I love y'all, but I got to bounce.
And again, when he signed with Rich Paul and Clutch Sports, you knew it was going to happen. But you know, he's a good kid. So in my opinion, I think he came in and he wanted to bid, he wanted to play. But since it's not working well now I want to be moved. Let's make some noise and see what can happen. But, you know, New Orleans, they're in control. And again, if I'm getting rid of my guy, I'm gonna get some good pieces, some good young pieces, so we can rebuild and start all over.
And that's the thing, you know, I think it's a lot of wasted years in everybody's career, years where you're on a team that don't have a shot at winning, years you're giving your best numbers, your best energy, and then, you know, someone that can honestly look back and say, oh, these last 7 years, Anthony Davis has done nothing. That's not the truth, but that's the narrative they like to paint on the guy when, as if he should have the responsibility of the GM, the coach, and all others. And I think he's done his job, and you might as well ask for wherever you want to go, but hopefully you don't get a team that's Raider Tip-Off Show, and welcome back. Players only, baby. That's right, we're in the house on TNT. Now, Anthony Davis, he may not be in New Orleans much longer. We're going to talk about that in a second, but James Harden, he definitely will be in the house in Houston, and can he get 40 again tonight? 40-piece. That's right. We got New Orleans and Houston next on TNT. What's up, everybody? Welcome back, welcome back. That's right, players only. We're here. We got the same faces and some new additions, but if you don't know the man to my right, then you don't know basketball. That's right, that's the big Shaq, the big everything, cactus, nostril, all that stuff, you know. We got California, LA's finest to be exact, when we talk about Baron Davis. And we finally got some class up on the set.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And some game. We had to get our girl. I wasn't talking about you, BD.
No, I was saying thank you.
I thought you were saying you
yeah,
class.
Sure.
Okay, we both in agreement that
Yes.
the great Candace Parker, we welcome you to the set. Thank you for being here with us. We appreciate you. And, you know, let's get right into it. Shaq, you know, your time in Orlando, you were a free agent, or you were coming up for free agency, and you didn't go back to Orlando. You understand sort of what Anthony Davis is going through, not that you asked to be traded. Can you give us a little insight on what you think he's going through, whether you think it was the right move for him to ask to leave, and what do you think he'll go through if he doesn't have the trade for the rest of the season?
Well, we all know basketball, and we all know the people that surround him. He had an agent. He's one of those players like we were, really didn't need an agent. We're going to get the max deal regardless. But you had to know and understand that when he signed with Rich Paul and Clutch Sports, knew this was going to happen. You know, he's the type of player who's made a name for himself. He probably wants to play in a big market, and his agent's best friend plays in one of the biggest markets in LA. So we knew this was going to happen. I thought it was going to be done a little bit more quietly, but you know, he's already mentioned that he's not going to sign that 5 for $240. So he said, "Hey, I want to be traded." So now the ball's in the court of the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah, you can see what
we'll see what happens.
You can see what he's done here, Shaq. 7 years in the league. This year, he's number 2 in scoring. He's top at blocks, and kind of see just his list. And you and I were talking, Candace, before the game, and you had a little different perspective as far as we were just talking about players and asking out. What do you feel of the situation with AD?
Well, I'm all for him saying that he's not going to re-sign with the Pelicans. That's being upfront and being honest. But where it's kind of gray area is asking to be traded in the middle of the season, you know, a week or so before the trade deadline. And I just think from a teammate's perspective, you heard Drew Holiday say, I came here
90%.
for 90%
yeah.
for Anthony Davis. And so just to kind of give that vibe in the middle of the season as a leader of a franchise, that's a tough situation.
And BD, of course I understand Anthony Davis, but if I'm New Orleans, I'm like, we all about to lose. I ain't trading nobody. I'm gonna wait to get what I want. What do you think? How do you think the situation gonna play out? What do you see with the situation?
I think New Orleans needs to think about New Orleans and start to think about their future, right? You know, here you have a guy who, he ain't coming back. You know, let's face the facts, he's not coming back. You don't have enough with him to keep building, so you should blow it up, get the best offer out there, get some draft picks. The Lakers have great players and talent. You got Boston out there. Everybody's throwing their best at you. Look, assess, take the best offer, and let that man go and do what he got to do.
Let me leave this on the table for you guys. Now, we've been in the league a long time around basketball. Anthony Davis got fined $50,000 for his public trade demand. Have y'all ever heard of a player getting fined for saying he wanted to go to another team?
No, I've never heard that.
No, me either. So we did a little research. We an underdog. Rudy Fernandez, I really don't know who that is.
Play for the Blazers. He played for the Blazers.
On.
He played for the Blazers.
Blazers.
I got to
still play?
I see a picture.
Huh?
Does he still play?
I mean, it depends on what he say.
No, he got fined. And then the other was our boy Nate Robinson. Nate, I just called you. Pick up the phone. I was about to ask Nate why he got fined. Now, you're telling me, out of all that we've heard, that these are the two names that got fined, y'all?
Tampering. I think the reason why he got fined is the whole, like, you know, he's a superstar in the league. Here they come with the tampering stuff, and so he's just adding fuel to the fire. You know what I mean? So the league, you know, the league.
But being players, I could call you and be like, let's hook up. I mean, if we're players, how can
I'm not saying it's wrong. He should say whatever he wants. You know what I mean? But I've never seen nothing like this.
And again, you had to know when he signed with Rich Paul, this was coming.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it was coming.
I agree. The play was totally telegraphed on that side.
From a franchise standpoint, like in terms of trying to attract other free agents, you're going to file an investigation against one of your players?
No, it sounds like New Orleans is not happy with the situation.
That's what I mean.
So it's like,
well, the team has to launch an investigation. And then they lost an investigation.
I mean, $50,000 ain't worth it. You know what I mean? They just they need to just go on and make some trades, get some real money.
Okay, but I have a question.
You know.
I have a question. 5 $240. You can't get that nowhere else.
Oof.
Would you want to go and play somewhere else, or do you want to take that?
What did
I
you
stayed in
say?
Sacramento for much less. I definitely 5 for 240. But the thing is, too, Shaq, the basketball teams, the shoe companies are paying you more than ever now. And so it seems like a lot of players are using that to rely on the fact they can make that up.
Forget making it up. I'm trying to make it when it comes.
Yeah.
And 240 in New Orleans is a lot different than
Yeah, but
240 in LA, as we know very well.
A whole lot different. 240 in LA is 120.
So it's pretty much
it might be less than that.
But still, I'd rather have 120 and live in LA.
Oh, you from LA. Oh, get out anyway. Oh, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Tell him.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
The Rams, dog. What you think?
Oh, you're one of those.
This guy, yeah.
Are you on the?
He's like a New Yorker.
Son's favorite team.
Are you on the?
Oh, so now it's your son's favorite team. So you got to root for your son. Anyway, check it out. As we go to break, All-Star Weekend is coming up, and here's a look at the Friday Rising Stars roster. Now, it's presented by Mountain Dew Ice. Now, first we have the World Team, and let me see. I know all those guys on that team. Lauri Markkanen, one of our favorite players. You know what Doncic could do. Aiden, he's from the Bahamas. Ben Simmons, he is from, where's Ben Simmons from? Australia. Yeah, there we go. And, hey, BD, you know my man from Brooklyn's name right there?
Yeah, his name is Rudolph Kukrutz.
Yeah, I had to ask because I didn't know. It's Rodot. Dang, now I just spelled it. I can't even say it. Anyway, let me go to the next one. I can't even read it. I spelled it out myself. The USA, you got De'Aaron Fox. Who you like seeing on this roster, BD?
All of them. De'Aaron Fox, Tatum, Kuz, Trae Young.
I'm going to go with my guy, De'Aaron Fox. Too fast for everybody else.
I'm going to go with Jason Tatum.
Okay.
I got my young boy Bagley. Right. Wow, we smoking.
How about the Kings and the Brooklyn Nets have 2 players for each team, and the Lakers, when you look at Kuzma and Alonzo Ball. We're going to love checking out that game. What's up, Jan Jackson? I played with your pops. He was a hog. Don't you be a hog like him. We'll be back. No, I'm just messing. What's up, Jan? We'll be back with more Players Only in a minute. Welcome to the Players Only Halftime Report presented by American Express. I'm Chris Webber. We got my girl Candace Parker, BD, that's Baron Davis, and the big Shaq, the big everything. What's up, big fella? You laughing at. What's up?
I don't mean to sweat her, but she looks nice. Get it? Sweat her?
Explain the inside joke. Welcome back to American Express teammates. Now, of course, we're watching the Houston Pelicans game, but we got a game that's better than that. So we're going to switch over right now. How about this? I think that's 60 points, and you just look at that.
Yikes.
Field goal percentage, 36. What is that, 21 for 36 shooting? That's right, these teammates of Westbrook and Paul just like that math right there. Yeah, I saw you watching me too. I was going to look at you.
Let me carry the one.
You know what I mean? Trying early, but let's get right to the highlights. BD, what's the best thing you like about Paul George's game?
I think the shift in him being the aggressor, right? He's smooth, mid-range to the hole. He handles the ball, and he can find people. But I just like him in the ISO situation. I don't think it's nobody in the league that can guard this kid right now.
You want to see this move? Check it out. A career-high 31 in the first half, and the float on the floater. I don't know who that was, but he gave them the business. George again with 31.
What's that? Afro-Euro step?
Afro-Euro step.
Oh, show it to him.
Show it again.
That's an Afro beat.
You know what I mean? So, where's the Westbrook? You want to see Hamidou Diallo get up? There you go. The oop baseline for the dunk. OKC up 83-73. Now, Vucevic. It's time for him to go up. You got to dunk on everybody you can, and even though it didn't go in sometimes, you still got to attack the basket. Jerry and Grant, one of the Grant twins, goes to the hole. He makes
son of Harvey.
26-5 Magic run. Now, Schroeder, he's going to tie the game up with a three-pointer. You know, Candace, I think he's been so good for this team, Schroeder, because he keeps the pace of a guy like Russell Westbrook doing his thing.
Well, Schroeder has obviously played starting minutes, and for him to be able to play also without Russell, but alongside him, it gives OKC another look.
It gives them another look, lets them keep the pace, and how about that? 118, 113. You want to see a little more George?
Step
back, crossover, step back.
Fournier tried.
Got him.
Tried.
OKC. Now, Candace, and we were talking, you and I believe, and guys are interested to hear what y'all think, but Candace was saying in the back that OKC just really all they need is a shooter, and that would help them. Basically what you were saying, right, from penetration from a Westbrook and a standstill shooter or somebody that can get their own shot?
I think at this point, just a standstill shooter, and it'll open up the lane and it'll take some pressure off of Russell. and obviously give him more space for him to drive, because he's doing really good going north and south this season.
I agree with you, but they also need another guy that can score at all times, because, you know, it's nice to have a 1-2 punch, but what if one of those guys is not having a good game? You need that other guy that's an automatic scorer. Schroeder can be that guy every now and then, but he's kind of a wild card. I don't want him taking, you know, crazy shots trying to get 20.
Do you guys think a team like this, BD, needs to make a trade before the February 7th trade deadline, or because they're playing well and relying on their defense, you just got to throw all your chips in and play this way? Or if you want to win a championship, is this year to make the trade, or do you think Golden State still has it and you have another year or two before you shore up your team?
I think it's the year to make the trade, because what Candace and Shaq is saying, those are the two people they need, right? And you can go and find somebody on somebody's bench. Look what Houston did with Fareed. You can go find one of these people that can be, you know, a third or a fourth scorer for you, rebounder, effective guy, and then you can also go get you a shooter, somebody that can stretch the defense. And if they have those two things with Schroeder and with Russ and PG doing most of the ball handling, they should be fine.
Yeah, it'd be interesting with their defense to see if they make any more moves. Now, we'll be back with more in a minute on the American Express halftime report. Shaq, when your coworkers laugh at your jokes, it's because they're too scared not to. Sweater.
You don't like my joke, Mouse?
Really? Okay, TK, I got one for you.
Oh, there you go. That's your studious look.
Yeah.
I like that. Professor Parker.
That was my carry the one.
Professor
look.
Parker.
That was my quick math look.
There you go. We'll be back. Players only.
Y'all ain't like my joke?
Welcome
Back. It's the American Express halftime report. We got the crew up here, players only. We're back every Tuesday. You can catch us on TNT. That's the station you're watching now, just in case you didn't know. Candace, we were watching the game in the back, and you were talking about teammates, hustle players, and how this wasn't stars only, but players only, meaning that we need to give a little love to the players that do all the dirty work, the unsung heroes. And you have a guy you want to talk about tonight.
Well, Kenneth Fareed, picked up by Houston, has bounced around the league for some time, changed positions from playing a 4 into a league that now they only value stretch 4s now. So it was, where do you play him? Well, Houston found a place to play him, and that's at the 5 position. P.J. Tucker is their blue-collar worker. Well, now they have another one. He gets the hustle plays. He always seems to be at the right place at the right time, moves without the ball very well, is able to finish. For what he gives up in size, he has in strength. And, you know, obviously shouldn't have thrown that pass, but he gets it back with the hustle play and gets the and one. This is a person that is filling in for Clint Capella, who was averaging 18 points, 13 rebounds. At the half, he has 13 and 7. And so it's not all about just the stars. It's about those other players that can fill in, and especially in the playoffs, this is great for them to have a backup behind Clint.
And he's out there working hard. You can see he's out there sweating like he's wearing a black turtleneck sweater. He's out there sweating.
Where's my man that sent in a tweet earlier about laughing at Shaq's jokes? Oh, this guy, funny guy.
I like that sweater.
Eddie Murphy in the studio tonight, guys. When the Clumps 3 comes back.
What's up, Keith Sweat?
You want me to sing a little, Keith? I can get up tonight.
Get him.
I thought we was teammates. Not Barry down there pumping it up. All right, Barry. I just saw the Mr. Rogers documentary. He's straight up jacking his style. But see,
It's
I
a
don't even like
beautiful day
doing
on
that.
Players Only. It's a beautiful day
In
on
the
Players.
neighborhood. Hey, you remember what Eddie Murphy did Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood? That's who VD look like right now. About to rob your crib. We'll be right back. Players only, halftime. Oh, somebody help me out there.
That's right.
Baron Davis turning. Oh, there you go.
Mr. Boom Hood.
The internet has no chill.
Oh, and they quick, too.
Undefeated.
Yeah.